it's going to be short.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Monday night meeting place call. I'm so grateful that all of you have taken the time out of your evening to jump on to hear and learn a little bit from Elaine Trites. Elaine Trites is been with us for quite some time now. I think we can almost consider you an OG, one of the original gangsters, Elaine, right?
Oh,
So,
definitely.
so Elaine lives in Nova Scotia. She is there with her husband and two huskies, two beautiful husky dogs. And Elaine joined this business in 2016, which was the year that we actually started. And we're looking for something, purposeful in her life to launch the second half of her life. Because let's face it, she wanted to support her hobbies of kayaking and travel and cycling and those sort of things. And she didn't retire to just stay at home and bake cookies, as she said. She didn't want to do that. So she needed something that was interesting and purposeful. So after 8 years in the business, she's proving that experience in network marketing is not needed as long as you are willing to listen, learn, accept changes, and never, ever give up. So it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Elaine Trites to our Monday night meeting place call. And have your pens ready, people, because she's got some great stuff to offer, and then we might do a little Q&A after. So welcome, Elaine. Great to have you.
Thank you, Terry. It's always nice to be here. And thanks everybody for popping in tonight. It's always nice to have a good group here, and Terry's calls are always fabulous. So I'm not going to take any more of your time up. I'm going to jump right into what I have. I'm going to share my screen here. Should be able to. Thank you. I was asked by someone else to do a little bit of training on follow-up. And I did this a few weeks ago, and I'm just going to see if I can get it to go to full screen here. Probably not. That's okay. It's me and technology, so bear with me.
I'm the same, Elaine. Don't feel bad.
I just go with it, right? I
Just
just go
go with
with
the
it.
flow. It's all good.
I had it done in Word, and I'm just going to leave it there in Word. So a few years ago, Kathy Gage had brought on a trainer for us for a private session, and she's from Halifax, called the Phone Lady. I don't know if anyone's familiar with her, but she gave us some really good tips. So I'm going to share some of the things that she shared with us and a few other things I learned along the way through training here with you, your group, and outside other groups. But it won't be too long, about 20 minutes. Following up with people and reconnecting without guilt, because we always worry about reaching out to people we haven't talked to for a while, or how long has it been before we followed up with someone. And sometimes that fear prevents us from actually getting into action and doing the follow-up. So I hope a few things here helps you and gives you a little bit of value tonight, and a few nuggets, takeaway nuggets to help you with your follow-up. So first of all, the art of following up via a phone call. And the phone lady taught us that no matter who you're calling to follow up with, always talk very slow. And I find that hard, so you have to sort of practice it, but talk very slow, because when they answer the phone and you start rambling on, they're not even hearing the first 6, 7, 8 words coming out of your mouth, so they may not hear who is actually calling. So she always suggested that you start by just introducing yourself very slowly and telling them why you are calling, but never hang up. She said that is the worst thing that you can do, because people will always assume that it was a spam call if they don't recognize the number. So leave a message if they don't answer, because most people these days do not answer a call if they do not recognize the number. So always make a good habit of just leaving a quick message saying that you will call back at a later date or leave a number where they can reach you. And if they are ordering from you online, follow up with a message or an email thanking them for placing that order. And if they ordered online, maybe 10 days or so after they place the order, give them a call or a message. If you're calling them, this is a few little script things that we were taught. The phone lady mentioned, she said, call introduction, said speak very slowly, sort of like, hi, this is Elaine Trites, your super patch rep. Pause a little and then say, tell them why you are calling them. Say, I am calling today to see if your patches have arrived. That's always a good opener because you're not asking them if they've liked them or if they're using them. You're just asking them on the first follow-up call if they received them. And wait for their answer. And if they say, yes, they did arrive, say, that's great. I'm excited for you to try them. Do you have any questions? And wait for their answer. Because they've just received them probably within that 10-day window. They haven't had a chance to use them. I don't ever ask anyone, how do you like your patches? I ask them always, are you using them? Are you wearing them? So if they say yes, they receive them. Say, tell them you're excited for them to use them and ask them if they have any questions. Wait for their reply. And if they do have questions, then answer them. If you can't answer them, just let them know that you'll get back to them with that information. So continue the conversation. If they say yes, they receive them, and you've asked them if they had any questions, continue the conversation with, would it be okay if I check back with you after you've had a few weeks of continuous use? This sets them up for their experience if you let them know continuous use. And wait, of course, for their reply. Don't jump into another conversation. Just give it some time, let them think, and if they say yes, get back to me. Say, perfect, I'll call you on, and give them a date. And ask them if that works for them. And mark it in your calendar and make sure you call them on the date. Always do what you say that you're going to do. So if you're going to give them a date and they say yes, that's good. Make sure that that's in your calendar. I use my phone calendar for everything. I know a lot of people use hand calendars. I use reminders in my phone all the time for things like this. And maybe they didn't get them yet. And that's not a bad conversation. Just say, if they haven't received them yet, offer to help them track their shipment. And you can, of course, look that up in your back office so they don't have to supply you with any of the information. And get a hold of head office and help them track. That's an amazing customer service offer for them. So maybe following up with a customer purchase that bought directly from a show. When do you follow up? What should you say? I always, within 24 hours, complete the warranty section in my back office. And if you're not familiar with I Love My Customer section in the back office, please reach out to someone on your team so they can show you how to fill that out. And then within 48 hours, I send them an email thanking them for the purchase. And I have a generic email that I just copy and send to most customers that purchase from me at shows that have links into it on how right from my website on how the product works. And also give them the testimonial page. And if you have a private Facebook group, include that also. So that's within 24 hours, complete the warranty section, and within 48 hours, send them a follow-up email so that they can check those links out, read some information about the product, And then about a week after they purchase, I like to call them back, and either that or text, and just check in with them to see if they've started to use their patches every day. Because this gives you the opportunity to educate them on wearing the technology every day. If they say, well, I wore it once or twice, that provides you with the opportunity to say, well, the best experience that people have is by wearing it continuously every day. And then ask them again, can I check back with you in a week or so after you've had a chance to wear them every day? So you don't have to ask them if they like the tech yet. They haven't had long enough experience. Just ask them if they're using it. And yeah, like just ask them if it'd be okay if you reach out to them after they've had a good trial with the technology. I always like to give people at least 2 weeks before checking in with them. And if they get in touch with you before that, that's great. But most people may not. If, like I said, if they have only used them once or twice and not consistent, learn how to educate them on the best results and experience. So here's the tricky part. What if you forget to follow up? I've done it many times. I know everybody here is probably busy, and we get into a few weeks and we realize we haven't reached out to anyone that purchased maybe for the last 2 shows, or it could be even you forgot someone for a month or 2 or longer. But don't worry about that. We were taught through the phone lady who has 30 years of experience in talking to people on the phone and following up, teaching people how to do sales. She said, most people are not really thinking about us. So it's sort of shocking, right? People aren't thinking about you. The truth is, they really do not remember when you last contacted them. And she says, do not apologize. Don't apologize for not reaching out to them because they don't remember when you did anyway. Just let them know why you were calling today. And when I get to thinking about that, I realized the people that I have bought product from and maybe they didn't follow up with me, but they called me 4 or 5 months later. And she's right. I didn't remember when they last contacted me, but I was so happy that they did. I have a couple products that I want to reorder from other companies. And to tell you the truth, I don't remember the rep that I bought them from. And I wish they would call me. I don't care if it's 6 months later. I wish they would contact me because I'd like to purchase from them again. So it's always good. Don't worry about the time frame. Just reach out and connect with someone. And of course, we all feel a little guilty when it's been a long time since we reached out to someone. Or maybe you're looking at someone on your Facebook or any of your social media pages, and you think, oh, I'd love to talk to them about the business, but I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to contact them, say, hey, do you want to look at my business? That is just the worst thing that you could do. So how do you build that relationship up if you haven't talked to someone for a long time? Or maybe you don't even know them. Maybe you have several hundreds of people following you on your Facebook page, but you don't even know them. So this is called social media warm-up. And this may take some time, of course, but reach out and connect with them. Connect with them through social media, text message, or if maybe you're too nervous to make a phone call or initiate that meetup, just reach out and connect online. The easiest thing I find to do is to go through someone's Facebook or Instagram posts over the last maybe several weeks or a month, and slowly start to comment on some of their posts. And that will spark a conversation. And this, maybe over a month or two, you're starting to build that relationship up in a way that feels natural to you. You're building a friendship up again. And of course, do this over a period of time. I recently have been reaching out to someone that I do not know at all. She's an author. She's moved to our province from New York. And I think over the last 6 to 8 months, I've been commenting on things on her Facebook. I've been really engaging with her. She has some interesting posts. I've let her know that I really enjoy watching what she's posting. I've read her book. And now it feels like we have friendship starting. And I'm excited to actually talk to her in one-to-one person. So work on social media warm up. Show them some love. If you're genuinely happy to connect with an old friend, make it a point to communicate that to them. Be warm and affectionate and let them know how much it means to you. Genuine warmth can help melt away some of those awkwardness and some of that awkwardness and may build up that relationship again. Because I love it when someone reaches out to me that I went to school with or haven't seen in 10 or 15 years. And they want to know how, what's going on. They want to reconnect. It makes you feel great that someone's thinking about you. Maybe bring back a fond memory, something that you did in school or did 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Initiate that conversation by bringing up a cherished memory or a funny time that you shared. It will transplant both of you back to that moment when you were actually closer. And it will help smooth over the "what are you up to now" conversations that sometimes get a little bit rigid. And display your interest. As you chat with your friend, let them know that you're interested in what they're sharing with you. Paying attention, asking follow-up questions, and empathize with them can help you connect with them and get to know who they are today, because they've probably changed a lot over the years. And make future plans. At the end of conversations, whether it's a text, messaging, make some plans to either meet up with your friends, make future plans with them based on shared interests, or just let them know that you're excited to see their posts of maybe their family, their vacation this year, their hobbies. Maybe they have a business like you do, and support them in that business. Get excited about what they're doing. So, Terry, really, that's the basis of a lot of what I wanted to share tonight. If we want to open the mic and let people share their experience with following up, I think it would be great.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's it's almost I feel like it's just with really the connection that you make with people that doesn't have to be in your face. And it comes back, Elaine, doesn't it, to relationships and building those relationships with people, with old friends, reaching out with old friends, and really making those connections is key to developing that relationship so that you can introduce the product without, appearing spammy or whatever. And again, going through old notes. I mean, I find going through old notes and going through old messages and Messenger and so on and follow up jogs the memory to do that for sure. So great stuff. And I think it's a great idea. Does anybody have a question or have anything to add to this topic of following up without guilt? Just raise your hand, make a comment, Love to hear from you. I know there's a lot of people that that are on this call that do shows, that do vendor events, that may have something to add or something that they've experienced as far as follow-up. We'd love to hear from you. Heather Lemke, I know you do a lot of shows. Kevin Duguay, you've done hockey follow-ups. Go ahead, Heather.
One thing I was going to mention, Terry, is when Elaine was saying make it personal, that's where when you fill out these sheets at a show, just take some notes down about your person and mention what they're dealing with. This one lady I've got, she runs a clubhouse for the Deep River Golf Course, suffers with back pain. Talk to her about doing a presentation for club members. That makes it a little more personal when you're doing your follow-up and you call her back too. If you're saying something personal about her or her child that she had told you about, or her husband, just makes it a little more intimate. And then she thinks, oh geez, she really does remember me.
Yeah, that's a great point, Heather. I mean, making those little notes to jog our memories as to, you know, because some of these people you meet at shows and stuff, it's you don't get to spend a lot of time and learn a lot about them. So those little notes that you're talking about there can certainly you know, bring that person to the point where, wow, she remembered that I was, you know, struggling with back pain, or you know, I had a husband that was this or that. Those little notes are special. So that's a great point to have those. Do you use those at all, Elaine, when you do shows similar to that?
Oh, definitely. Especially if you have time and you have two people doing the show with you. It's so important to make just a couple little notes, even if you have time, that will jog your memory on what that person talked to you about. Maybe it was something that they mentioned that they wanted to do, or if they want to, you know, activities or anything at all, that when you're talking to them, even a conversation you might have had, you know, remind them, you know, oh my God, you know, you had, you know, you brought in such a nice gift to everyone at the show that day, or you were wearing, I remember that lovely outfit you were wearing. Anything at all that shows them you remembered them. It's very special. And we have ballots now that we have checked, people check off with what their main concern is. So they circle that. So when you're going through your ballots, you can, when you're calling them back, you have exactly what they're concerned about, whether it's pain, whether it's stress, because they've circled it right on the ballot. That's a great tool to use.
Yeah, I think getting a little bit of information is a great asset to us based on our follow-up and talking to people, so that we can have those, because sometimes it's even like, oh yeah, I remember that person was struggling with this or whatever, and it brings back, because I know you see a lot of people that walk through booths at the show, and you do a lot of, you know, a lot of balance tests and at a show, so it's really hard to remember everybody, and with that follow-up, it's really key. But one of the things that really struck me too, Elaine, is utilizing the social media side of things, because, you know, I've built 95% of this business on social media by being consistent and building sort of the brand of Terry. But I've had some real success lately reaching out to old school friends and just not even telling them what I'm doing, just sort of rehashing that old relationship and saying, oh, I see that, were those your grandkids, or were those your kids' kids, or were they, you know, family members, friends, whatever, you know, you guys look like you were having a riot. How's life treating you? Something like that. And all of a sudden you start creating this, you know, this new relationship again that you haven't had maybe since high school or something. And then it just evolves from there. It just evolves to say, hey, what are you doing these days?
They're going to ask what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, you know, and when you're telling them, oh, I'll help people that have issues with pain, this and that and everything, 9 times out of 10, they're going, oh, I have that, or my wife has that, or my kids have that.
Yeah. It's a great point. I mean, social media and going through and looking for old friends has been a success that I've been using. So it really resonated when you said that tonight. So Bernie Morrison, go ahead.
Hi.
Good to see you, Bernie.
What's that?
Good to see you.
Good to be here. Yeah, I'm not at home, but anyway, my struggles at the trade shows or the events was, how do I get their information? When do I ask for their information? I found out that after I did a demo and I asked them, some of them said no. I always ask them, can I follow up with you? Being I patch you, can I follow up with you? And then having, like, set a sheet here with their need, you know, they can. I always ask them, is your hand printing, is it good? Then I let them write it out and I look at it, make sure I can read it, or I write it out myself, but putting their name, their address, their phone number, their email, different things, and then having a place for notes also. So anyway, that was it.
Great. So was that basically a question, or you just asked?
No,
making
just a
point?
statement. Yeah, just making a point, because when I first started doing shows, I go, well, how do I get information from
yeah,
my customers and stuff?
Yeah,
and then when doing the demos, that's when I ask them for their information. And there's still people that'll say, no, I've got your information here. I'll follow up with you if I want anything. And then you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But
well, you'll never know if you don't ask, right, Bernadette? That's the way it is.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, that was it. I was just throwing that out there.
Great point. And that's, you know, a lot of times I think that's what happens is we forget to, you know, get contact information, whether it's in the phone or whether it's on a, you know, piece of paper or a ballot or a form that they fill out. So great point. I think it's an important tool to have at the booth. And I know that sometimes booths can be pretty crazy at times with our technology lined up. And so we don't always do the perfect job that we should, but certainly having those documents that people wouldn't mind filling out is worth it for sure. So
yeah, I find the ballot works wonders, and we have a container that says only ballots filled out completely will be accepted. So people, when they see that, they give you their name, email, phone number, and everything, because a lot of times people didn't give your email, and you want to get the email so you can add them to your email list. So we have this, don't know if you can see it there, just a ballot that helps with, and it lists everything, all the 12 things that our patches do, so they can check it off, which one that they want.
Well, maybe, do you have that, Elaine, as a PDF?
Yes, we have that in the other group, so I'll send it to you.
Yeah, maybe what we could do is maybe you could post it into the team page under the files tab, or do it as a post, and then I can get from there to the files tab. And then just remind everybody that there's a lot of good stuff in the files tab in the Team Patchination group. If you click on files at the top where the guides tab is, and so on the featured heading as well, there's lots of good stuff in there, and maybe we could get you to put that in. And people are asking, you know, this presentation that you did is awesome, and thank you so much for doing this, Elaine. Is there any way that we could get these notes or get this in a PDF form that we could place in the files tab to give people a reminder for follow-up?
I'll place that document right in as when right after this, and I'll put the ballots in there also. I'll do two separate ones, and I think I'll just put it in there as a Word document, because if they want to change it for any of their training to their teams, they can add. Makes it easier for them to download it, and there's nothing there proprietary or anything from any buddy that I copied it from. So
fantastic. How's that, everybody? You get all this training for free, and it'll be placed in the team page. We can all use it to jog our memories and so on. So bravo, Elaine. So, well, we're right almost at the hour now, Elaine. Bang on. So fantastic. Janet, I see you have your hand up. Do you want to ask a question here? Just I'll send you a note to unmute.
Well, okay.
There you go.
Just a quick question, not on what was talked about tonight, but Elaine mentioned, if you have a question, I'll get back to you. I have 2 customers that I have questions about, and I don't know who to go to for the question. I mean, the answer.
So there's two ways you can do it, Janet. Are you in the Team Patchination group?
I am.
group? So
I
you can
believe
post
I'm.
that, you can post that question in there and someone will help you. Or you can email support@superpatch.com and you can ask it corporately. Or the third way is you can reach up to your sponsor or to someone who's in your upline.
They're all new like I am.
Yeah, okay, well,
I think it's be
they
somebody that's
might
been around.
surprise, do they not know the answer? Have you asked them?
Yeah.
And they don't know
Yes.
the answer?
No, it's probably just that they have to use it longer. Somebody is trying to sleep and she's not getting any effect. So I gave her the Liberty. She's using that. And then I said, try the Peace one night and see if that helps you. And she's just not getting more than 2.5 hours of sleep
And how long has she been using the technology?
a week. Longer
Yeah,
time?
use it longer. That's why there's
Okay,
28
good.
patches, okay?
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was getting panicky here.
Yeah, there's a reason. I mean, you don't go to a gym and get a set of abs after 1 week. Usually 12 weeks, right? Got to work at it. So there's a reason we have 28 patches and a 30-day money back guarantee. So most of the studies are done with 14 and 28-day programs. So just encourage them to use the product longer, to take, to be patient, because everybody's neurology is compromised differently. And some people respond quicker than others, but trust their body's own ability, their body's own innate. Okay.
Okay.
And it will work.
Okay.
And encourage them just to stick with it. Trust the process. Okay. Just remember to tell them that this is not a pill. It's a process. And some processes take a little bit longer than others. People heal differently when they're, have the same injury. Somebody breaks an arm, still a broken arm, but one person's arm healed in 4 weeks and one person's arm took 12 weeks.
Right.
Still a broken arm, right? So just encourage them to stay with it, trust the process, and that it is a process and not a pill.
Okay.
I always like to tell them also that, we have a 30-day guarantee for a reason, and it's to give you time to use the product. So they still have lots of time. They can continue using it, and that's what the guarantee there's for.
Well, I've told her that. I guess it's me panicking, not them.
Yeah, and Janet, I get that, because we all want instant gratification for everything in life, right?
I just want it to work for people. I'm so excited. I am so excited about this product.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I think most people that are on here do, but as representatives of this company, we have to understand that it can take time and we have to be patient, and we can't show fear, obviously, to anybody that's using it. We just got to be encouraging. We got to coach them through it. That's all.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question, though. So anyways, folks, thank you so much for being on the call. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., we have our opportunity call, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're growing your teams, you want to share this technology, it's a great tool to leverage. It's hosted by either Lisa Cito or my co-host Paul Austin. Sometimes we'll do the presentation depending on time. I'm sort of the Larry King Live guy on the call. So I would appreciate everybody trying to get a couple people on that call tomorrow night and leverage that call so that we can share this technology with the world, and continue on these calls on Monday night where we bring amazing people like Elaine on here to give us little nuggets every week to help us be better at what we do in sharing this product. So I thank you all so much for being on the call tonight. I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night. And once again, let's go out and share this technology with the world. And you're welcome to unmute and say goodnight. We'll see you all tomorrow night.
Good night. Thank you.